Hey guys, it's me, Mario, and for any arachnophobes out there that are watching this, I'm sorry, because today we're going to be reading Beast Quest, Arachnid, the King of Spiders. Yeah. So anyone who is afraid of arachnids, I'm terribly sorry. Because I know people are. Then again, people are afraid of snakes, and I did put a warning beforehand as well, so I don't know. The only thing I'm afraid of is heights, so I'm kind of fascinated with spiders, but yeah. Alright. Prologue for Arachnid, the King of Spiders. My thumb is not behaving. The two women stood on the rocky mountain, gazing down into the cave. It gave it below them, dark and uninviting. "Are you really going in, Ida?" asked Dorina, the first woman. Her friend nodded. "My father told me about this place," she said. "It's where you find the best crystals," Dorina shivered. "I don't like it here," she said, glancing up at the dark forest above them. "The giant spider may be close by. Arachnid won't come out of the forest in daylight," said Ida, trying to tying a rope around her waist. "We are perfectly safe," Doriana hugged herself. My neighbor told me there were webs in her house this morning," she said. "Great sticky ropes all over her bed, and the spiders coming down down the mountain looking for food into our village, into our houses. Don't pretend you aren't scared. If the spider is real, then the crystals in these caves will protect us," said Ida firmly. She lashed the other end of her rope to a nearby tree. Then she put a candle into the special holder and attached it to the leather cap she was wearing. With shaking hands, her friend lit the wick. Slowly, Ida lowered herself into the darkness. "Be careful," Doriana called after her. The air inside the cave was musty and damp. Ida felt as if the mountain was pressing in on her. But she made herself go on. The candle in her cap flickered in the gloom. She could hear a nervous thump of her heart as she squeezed through the narrow channel of rock. The air grew colder as the cave opened up, and Ida gasped at the incredible sight before her. The cave was like a cathedral. Huge stalactites hung from the roof and dripped icy water. Even larger stalagmites rose from the floor like church spires. Glistening blue crystals covered the walls. Diana, Ida called over her shoulder. I found them. Reaching for her pick, she began to chip. She began to chip at the crystals. A beautiful shard came away in her hand. Ida held it up to admire the way it sparkled in the candlelight. Suddenly, the crystal gleamed seemed to cloud. Ida peered closely at the shard and rubbed it on her sleeve. As she frowned in confusion, she felt something damp on her shoulder. She looked up. A long string of saliva was dripping from a set of deadly fangs that loomed high above her. Paralyzed with terror, Ida looked up into the six glittering eyes of an enormous black spider. Its swaying shadow filled the cave. The shard of crystal fell from Ida's hand and opened her mouth to scream, but it was too late. Thick ropes of silk fell on her like a net, pinning her to the rock face and smothering her. Smothering her. Struggling violently, Ida tried to free herself. It was no use. Faintly she heard Doriana calling before the spider whipped at the rocks above them and brought them tumbling down, blocking the cave's entrance. Arachnid's hideous, hairy legs moved fast, spinning and reeling the silk around his victim. Then he scuttled back to the center of his mighty web, watching and waiting. I warned any arachnophobes out there before I read this prologue, because I read these chapters and prologues before I record, and yeah, that's why I put that warning there. That verbal warning of any arachnophobes out there. But yeah, that was the prologue to Arachnid, the King of Spiders. But yeah. This was my first book that I ever read of Beast Quest, and I'm glad that we're finally at this one. Surprisingly, it was the 11th book that I've read the first time I found out that this series exists. I think I read this a year before I got it again, so a year before the series began, so can't believe I'm finally on this book. But yeah, this is exciting. The first book I ever read of Beast Quest, and we're finally here. Ooh, excuse me. Hope you guys enjoyed this read through. And I hope I will see you in the next one. My face is a little red because I just went on a walk. It wasn't that long ago, so I'm a little red in the face. Alright, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!